Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Varsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Campaigning peaks in election-bound states of Nagaland and Meghalaya as electioneering draws to a close tomorrow evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi notes in last 9 years, Union Agriculture Budget saw a 5-fold jump to make the nation Atmanirbhar. G20 finance ministers and central bank governors begin deliberations in Bengaluru on building a sustainable international financial architecture. India saved over 3.4 million lives by undertaking a nationwide COVID-19 vaccination campaign at an unprecedented scale, says Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia. And in cricket, South Africa set a target of 165 runs for England in second semi-final of ICC T20 Women's World Cup at Cape Town in South Africa. Campaigning for assembly elections in Nagaland and Meghalaya has entered its last leg. Political parties are making last-ditch efforts to woo the voters. Senior BJP leader and Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed rallies in Nagaland and Meghalaya today. Addressing the joint election rally for the NDPP-BJP in Chomo-Kedima district of Nagaland today, Mr. Modi said, Nagaland has made remarkable progress during the last 9 years. He said cases of insurgency in the state have been reduced to 75%. More from our correspondent.
Senior leaders of NDPP, including Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio and state BJP leaders, attended the rally. Mr. Modi asserted that bringing permanent peace to Nagaland is the aim of his government. He said that peace, progress and prosperity for Nagaland are the motto of his government. All other parties in the fray for the elections are also stepping up for the campaign efforts on the second last day of the hustling with media appearances, regional trips and rallies. With Manas Asonyo Eaya, News Kohima.
Speaking at a public rally at Tura in East Garo Hills district of Meghalaya this afternoon, Mr. Modi assured the people of Meghalaya of speedy development in the state. He said the BJP government stands for speedy development, end of blockade and violence, and security for women in Meghalaya. More from our correspondent.
A day before the election campaign comes to a close in Meghalaya, senior BJP leader and Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed 2 election meetings today, one in Shillong while the other in Tura. At both the places, Mr. Modi conveyed the people that his party is committed for speedy development and welfare in the Northeast region. Meanwhile, TMC Meghalaya State President Mukul Sangma has addressed election rallies in West Garo Hills and South Garo Hills districts. On the other hand, Chief Minister and NPP leader Kandod K. Sangma held election campaign at New Baitbari in Rajbala constituency. Lakshmi, AR News, Shillong.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized that various announcements have been made in this year's budget to promote the agricultural sector so that the nation becomes Atmanirbhar and the money used for imports can reach the farmers. He informed that the agricultural budget, which was less than 25,000 crores in 2014, has been increased to more than 1,25,000 crores today. Addressing the post-budget webinar on agriculture and cooperatives today, Mr. Modi said the goal of complete development cannot be achieved until the challenges related to the agriculture sector are eliminated. The Prime Minister observed that private innovation and investment are keeping a distance from this sector, which leads to low participation of India's youth in the agricultural sector compared to the other sectors. He urged the youth to work towards delivering the right advice at the right time while creating a bridge of information between the government and the farmer about their innovations and also assisting in policy making.
इस साल के बजट में उदाहरण के लिए हमने डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को ओपन सोर्स प्लेटफॉर्म की तरह सामने रखा है। ये बिल्कुल उसी तरह है जैसे यूपीआई का ओपन प्लेटफॉर्म जिसके जरिए आज डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहा है। उसी तरह एग्री टेक डोमेन में भी इन्वेस्टमेंट और इनोवेशन की अपार संभावनाएं बन रही है।
Noting that India's agricultural sector remained distressed for a long time since independence, the Prime Minister pointed out the country's dependence on the outside world for our food security. He highlighted how India's farmers transformed the situation by not only making the nation self-reliant, but also capable of exporting food grains. The Prime Minister touched upon the PM Pranam Yojana and Govardhan Yojana, where the government is working towards promoting natural farming and reducing chemical-based farming. The News Services Division of All India Radio brings a panel discussion on union budget provisions for green growth, agriculture and cooperatives in our current affairs program at 9:30 tonight. Mukul Sanwal, former UN diplomat for climate change, and Harveer Singh, agriculture expert, are participating in the panel discussion. Mukul Sanwal said the futuristic provisions are laid out in the budget to make the agriculture profitable and promote green growth.
Green hydrogen has got 19,000 crores. Biogas has got 10,000 crores. Scrapping of vehicles is 3,000 crores. The Prime Minister is now saying we will use technology to further commerce, to link the farmer to the broader national economy and the market. And in this manner, we will raise his level of income and as well as the production and productivity of the country. And now the two are being linked for the first time. And I think he rightly said this is the foundation for the future.
This discussion will also be available on our website newsonair.gov.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. The first G20 finance ministers and central bank governors meet deliberated on international financial architecture, sustainable finance and infrastructure in Bengaluru today. The session was jointly steered by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das. The inaugural session began with the opening remarks of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a recorded message. He called upon the custodians of the world's leading economies and monetary systems to bring back stability, confidence and growth to the global economy. The finance minister invited the views of the G20 delegation on how multilateral development banks can be strengthened to address the shared global challenges of the 21st century. She highlighted rising debt vulnerabilities in many countries and sought the views of members on multilateral coordination. She also spoke on India's priority of financing the cities of tomorrow. On the sidelines of the G20 meet, the finance minister met Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Economy and Finance of South Korea, Cho Kyung-ho. The two ministers discussed global issues, including the priority of strengthening climate change financing and enhancing bilateral economic cooperation. Talking to AIR News economic analyst Siddharth said the Prime Minister underlined the key issues of world economy and stressed upon the united and innovative efforts to tackle the economic issues of the First Minister-level dialogue under India's G20 presidency.
At the first meeting of finance ministers and central bank governors was to focus on the most vulnerable sections of society who have been hit by COVID-19 pandemic. We talked about reforming the multilateral development bank. The idea that India has been pursuing is that these multilateral development banks need to vitalize, rework to deal with present-day challenges such as climate change and also address the high debt levels in several countries. Apart from that, key theme of Prime Minister's message was on how India has used digital technology to deliver public goods, and he talked about how money could be transferred seamlessly and in a touchless manner during the COVID pandemic and cited the example of UPI. He said that this model could be used by other countries and India is willing to share its expertise. At the same time, the PM has also sounded note of caution on some of the recent innovations, as he said, in digital finance, which pose the risk of destabilization and misuse. His reference was to evolution of cryptocurrencies, which countries around the world are seeking to regulate, and India has said that how they are trying to use G20 as a forum to get everyone on board to regulate crypto assets.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia today said India adopted a whole-of-government and whole-of-society approach in a proactive, preemptive and graded manner for effective management of COVID-19. Dr. Mandavia was delivering his address at Stanford's India Dialogue session during the release of a report. Dr. Mandavia said according to the report, India was able to save more than 3.4 million lives by undertaking a nationwide COVID-19 vaccination campaign at an unprecedented scale. He said the campaign also yielded a positive economic impact by preventing the loss of $18.3 billion. Union Labour and Employment Minister Bhupendra Yadav has said the government with new labour codes is fully committed to ensuring social security to the workers of unorganised sectors. He informed that over 28 crore labourers of unorganised sector have registered on eShram portal in the period of less than 1 year. The minister described this Aadhaar-linked data on the portal as completely authentic. Mr. Yadav was speaking after inaugurating Employees State Insurance Corporation ESIC's Special Services Fortnight with the theme Better Healthcare and Social Security to the Workers in New Delhi today.
2014 तक ESIC के टोटल बेड्स की संख्या 18,933 थी। हॉस्पिटल्स की संख्या भी 151 थी। प्रधानमंत्री जी के द्वारा जब ESIC 2.0 को शुरू किया गया तो 8 वर्षों में बेड की संख्या भी 2,000 बढ़ाकर 20,211 की गई और हॉस्पिटल्स की संख्या बढ़ाकर भी 160 की गई।
In cricket, South Africa set a target of 165 runs for England in the second semi-final of the ICC T20 Women's World Cup at Newlands Cricket Ground in Cape Town, South Africa. After winning the toss and electing to bat, the hosts scored 164 runs for the loss of 4 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. South Africa's Asmin Britt scored 68 runs and Laura Woolward scored 53 runs. For England, Sophia Cleston scalped 3 wickets. In reply, England were 107 for 3 in 17 overs when reports last came in. And now news from the business world.
Sensex lost 142 points to finish at 59,464. Nifty 50 also fell by 45 points to settle at 17,466. At the multi-commodity exchange, gold futures for April was trading at 55,540 rupees per 10 grams. Silver futures for March was trading at 63,810 rupees per kilogram when reports last came in. And in intraday trade, Brent crude was trading at $83 per barrel. Arjun Chaudhary for AIR News.
India exercised its right of reply at the United Nations General Assembly against Pakistan and advised Islamabad to look at its track record as a state that provides safe havens to terrorists. At the United Nations General Assembly 11th Emergency Special Session, Indian Councillor Pratik Mathur advised the Pakistani delegation to refer to the numerous right of replies that India has exercised in the past.
Pakistan has only to look at itself and its own track record as a state that harbors and provides safe havens to terrorists and does so with impunity. Such uncalled for provocation is particularly regrettable and certainly misplaced at a time when after 2 days of intense discussions, we have all agreed that the path of peace can be the only path forward to resolve conflict and discord.
Ukrainians paid tribute to fallen loved ones today as the Russia-Ukraine war entered its second year. At a ceremony on Kiev's St. Sophia Square, President Volodymyr Zelensky bestowed medals on soldiers. The colors of Ukraine's flag lit up the Eiffel Tower, the Brandenburg Gate, the Empire State Building and the Sydney Opera House. In Sri Lanka, the Swami Vivekanand Cultural Centre held a festival of Carnatic music, the Tyagaraja Aradhana, at Saraswati Hall in Colombo. The festival is an annual Aradhana of Telugu saint composer Tyagaraja. Saint Tyagaraja attained Jiva Samadhi in Tanjavur district of Tamil Nadu. The Aradhana witnessed rendering of the saint's Pancharatna Kritis. Speaking about Saint Tyagaraja's tradition of bhakti, High Commissioner of India Gopal Bagle said devotion or bhakti brings out ultimate surrender to the Almighty. He added that bhakti along with music takes one to the heights of spiritual joy which cannot be described. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Campaigning peaks in election-bound states of Nagaland and Meghalaya as electioneering draws to a close tomorrow evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi notes in the last 9 years, Union Agriculture budget saw a 5-fold jump to make the nation Atmanirbhar. G20 finance ministers and central bank governors begin deliberations in Bengaluru on building a sustainable international financial architecture. India saved over 3.4 million lives by undertaking a nationwide COVID-19 vaccination campaign at an unprecedented scale, says Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia. And in cricket, South Africa set a target of 165 runs for England in second semi-final of ICC T20 Women's World Cup at Cape Town in South Africa. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.